In this last video, I just want to review everything that we've done so far. So we started with a discovery learning about multiplying integers, and we talked about groups of numbers and using patterns to find products, and then we used that to fill out a table, and then we used the table to help us write a rule. And we said that when signs are the same, your answer is positive. When signs are different, your answer is negative. If one integer is 0, your answer is 0. And that was our multiplying rules. Then we did something similar for dividing. We drew some pictures. We rewrote mathematical sentences backwards. We filled out a table and tried to find a pattern. And we used those patterns to write some rules. Now, this page, this last page, is multiplying and dividing integer rules. And it says that you do the multiplication or division of the numbers or of the absolute values of the numbers and then determine the sign by the following. If the signs are the same, the answer is positive, and they give you some examples. If signs are different, the answer is negative. They've also given you a tic-tac-toe board where they've drawn a little tic-tac-toe board and drawn the diagonal to be all positives. And then you can go by each line here. Positive times a negative gives us a negative answer. A negative times positive gives us a negative answer. A negative times a negative gives us a positive answer. So some students like to draw that on the side of their papers to help them remember the rule. They also have used the good and bad people. When good things happen to good people, that's good. So a positive times a positive gives us a positive answer. When good things happen to bad people, that's a bad thing. So a positive times a negative gives us a negative result. When bad things happen to good people, that's a bad thing. So negative times a positive is a negative. And when bad things happen to bad people, a negative times a negative, that results in a good thing. That's a positive answer. And so some people kind of remember that silly saying. It's totally up to you how you want to remember those silly sayings, but I just want you to be aware that the silly sayings exist, the tic-tac-toe board exists, or if you just want to memorize them. I will say that when we get to the test or quiz, the biggest mistake is that students want to confuse the multiplying and dividing integer rules with their adding and subtracting rules. You have to keep them separate because adding and subtracting rules are completely different than your multiplying and dividing integer rules. So it's really important that you start to look at this integer rules and commit it to memory and keep it separate from the other integer rules page that you have that looks like this. So remember that the two things are not the same, and it's really important that you commit these rules to memory before you take your test or quiz for this unit.